Okay, so we got the cup on the turner. I forgot to tell y'all that I sealed my glitter with clear spray. Some people do, some people don't, but I prefer to seal mine, even though it's on there with Loctite and it's all the excess is rubbed off. I just don't want to take any chance of it moving while I'm putting my epoxy on. So I went ahead and clear coated mine. You can use triple thick, you can use clear spray, whatever you usually use is fine. So I have my epoxy already mixed, it's ready to go. I use Faux Rizzle UV. I have 20 milliliters. Normally with your glitter being so flat and smooth, you wouldn't need that much, but since we're going to be carving into it, I need a thicker layer so that when I carve into it, it doesn't disappear. So we're going to get that on the cup. Spinning the wrong way. Normally I like to have it spinning away from me. So I'm going to get this on and then I'm going to fix that because I like it spinning away. You need a thicker layer of epoxy for this because since the epoxy is self-leveling, when you carve into it, it's going to try and level itself out again. So you need to make sure that you have a nice thick layer. I mean, it's not like flood coat thick, but thicker than you would normally need for using after the tack-it method. Just making sure I have all my spots covered. I can't work like this. I gotta have it going the other way. There we go. So I'm really excited to be on YouTube. I love helping others, and I love just being able to pass on what I've learned to others. So there's some people out there who don't want to help. They want to keep all their knowledge to themselves, and that's if that's how they want to do it, that's all up to them. But I had people help me when I started, and I just want to pass that on. Okay, so I got all my spots covered, so I'm going to get the rest of my epoxy on there. You don't need to play with it too much after you've got it on there because, again, epoxy self-levels. But you do want to make sure that you have all of your cup covered. So that's mainly what I'm doing right now, is just going over it and making sure that I don't feel any dry spots. And I like to warm my epoxy up, especially now that it's getting colder. Faux Rizzle the part A side does not like cold. So I have a little gooseneck desk lamp, and I just turn the little lamp part so it's facing upwards, and I put my part B in my medicine cup, and then add part A, and then I'll just let it sit there. And with faux Rizzle, when you warm it, you have less bubbles. And I can see the glare, and I can see as the cup's turning if there's any bubbles, and I can see some, a couple, but not a lot. So it feels like I got everything covered. Just want to make sure that I have a nice, thick, even layer for my carving. Okay. So now I'm gonna hit it with my torch and pop those bubbles. I know there's new people coming into this craft every day, and you wonder, do you need a heat gun? Do you need a torch? And honestly, it's good to have them both. The torch is really good for popping bubbles. Really, really good. The heat gun is good to get your epoxy moving, like if you're doing alcohol inks or a glitter swirl or a mica swirl, anywhere where you want your glitters to move, that's what a heat gun is really good for. But the torch is really good for your bubbles. You don't have to use a torch for your bubbles. If you already have a heat gun, you don't feel comfortable using a torch, I didn't at first, the heat gun is fine, but the torch is much better for popping your bubbles. So I'm just going to pop the bubbles as I see them coming around, and I'm not holding my torch on it, I'm just waiting for those bubbles to come around. Too much heat will cause micro bubbles, and you don't want those, because no matter how much sanding you do, they're not going to come out. So I think that's it. I think that's all the bubbles. I'm not seeing any more. So I think we're good.